Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Thanks for joining me on another video here on Navisim 101. And welcome to Sabiha Gokcen International Airport in Istanbul. So we're not too far from the other main Istanbul airport. I say main, well, both of them are main airports really. And this airport, as you can see, looks really nice, really beautiful. A great rendition of the original airport. And the good news is that it's freely available on Flightsim.to. Yep, you don't have to pay a penny for it. You can see the outbuildings there at the rear. So yeah, and all the jetways work, so that's really cool. Alright, so before we step into the aircraft, I thought maybe we could just have a look at the airport itself. So if we just navigate ourselves around here, you can see we got a motorway system serving the airport, and what we're going to do is just break through these doors here on the left. Okay, so let's just go through, just get down a bit. Bang. Alright, now look at this. Oh my goodness, absolutely fantastic. Polished floors, even a Starbucks coffee outlet is there. Oh, that looks really good. Got an upstairs as well. Elevators. Oh, a bit dangerous though, there's no parapet. There's no, I wouldn't want to be taking the kids up here. No, a bit dangerous. Okay, but yeah, everything else is really cool. Yeah, you got check-ins there and so on and so forth. So yeah, the airport looks really good. Okay, and yeah, go ahead and go straight away and download that one from Flightsim.to. Okay, so that's it for our little look around. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is taking a flight from here to Henri Coandă Airport. Okay, so we're on VATSIM now. There's nobody here at the moment. I don't think there is. I mean, someone could actually pop up. Yeah, but we've actually logged on to VATSIM, and now I don't think ATC is going to come on. It's about, say, 9:15 in the evening, and I think everyone's sort of like just winding down really. If you do want to have some VATSIM, some ATC, then if you just pop across the pond and go to the States, because they're 5 hours behind, you see everyone is kind of like probably heading towards evening now, and we'll be logging on to the VATSIM network, and you can take off from places like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Atlanta, and JFK is pretty frequent with VATSIM controllers. Boston, I mean, Boston has it pretty much all the time really. The only thing is I can't find any what you call it, handcrafted airports for Boston, and I don't fly in or fly out of the other generic airports. So yeah. Right, so now what you can see here is Toolbar Pushback. Okay, now I normally use Pushback Helper, but I've actually just taken this out really, and you may know that it's been updated with a pre-plan pushback. Alright, so I'm going to have a look at that in a minute. I haven't tried it out yet. We'll see how that goes. Right, so what I'm going to do is get the catering guys working. Alright, now it does seem that the catering truck will actually stay there until you release them. Okay, so that seems to be a feature with this one. Alright, so that's them. Alright, now I'm not going to get the luggage guys to work just yet because I want to show you something. Okay, so I'm just going to move this over to the other screen and get that out of the way for now. Alright, so let's just pop ourselves into the aircraft. The jetway is out, that's cool. Alright, good. So here we are in the aircraft. So power cart's connected, and we've done that. Okay, we'll switch the battery on, and yeah, everything else is done. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go across here and download our flight plan from SimBrief. Okay, and there it is. Lima Tango Foxtrot Juliet to Lima Romeo Oscar Papa. Alright, so we are Turkish Airlines 793 Airbus A320, and you can see there we've got wind information, customer index here 26, and 0 fuel weight. Okay, our flight level, we'll be cruising at flight level 380. Okay, nice. Right, now moving over here just to show you a bit about this. So now you're familiar with this. You can see our airport ICAO code there, and the weather summary. Now if you actually press on the summary, so you click on that, it actually changes it to Meta textual format. Right, so that's really cool. And the other good thing about it is that if you click in the box and just delete the information and say, now you can type in whichever airport you want. So Los Angeles, for example, now you've got Meta for Los Angeles. Okay, KSFO, San Francisco, now you've got a Meta for San Francisco. Alright, so yeah, and it goes automatically back to where we are at the moment. So you can either have it like that, or you can put it back to the summary. And what this is good for, this is good for alternates. If you have to use an alternate, then you just type in your alternate and you get the baro, winds, temperature, etc, etc. Alright, cool. So now clicking on this, you can see we're on Unicom. Alright, so once you click on this, then that's your active radio frequency. Hoppy, ACARS, we don't need that, so won't bother to connect that. Alright, and okay, let's just see if this works, because sometimes, you know, it doesn't. Lima, oh, what was it? Lima Tango Foxtrot Juliet. Ah, there we are. It's come up. Alright. Okay, so we'll leave that. And the thing about this is that it doesn't actually remember where you are. That's the annoying thing about it. So I could go back to say the dashboard and go back there, and it's all gone. This is annoying. So at the moment, I think on this flypad it just doesn't remember your last selection. Okay, so if you move, you'll lose it. Alright, so that's us. Let's go to our operating flight plan, and we can do that, and just scroll down. Same with this. If you go to another screen, come back, it loses its place. It's gone back to the top. So I really wish or hope that Navigraph will sort this out. Right, so let's just go down to our information. Alright, so what we need to know is the fuel we're going to use. So planned ramp is 5.1. Okay, I'm going to make that 5.2. Okay, and we've got 134 passengers booked. Okay, so right, and then now we can go straight over to our fuel and just click in there and put our set 5.2 in, and then we can click refuel. Alright, now if you pop along to the EWD, and you can see it's got refueling there, which is pretty cool. Alright, so that is that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go through a few safety checks. So we've got parking brake is on, ground spoilers are down, flaps are up, engine masters are off, engine mode selector is norm, and our transponders, they're all on standby, and our throttles, they're on idle. Alright, radios are on, and all the switches are up in the correct positions, and landing gear lever is down, and this up top here, wipers are off. Okay, so what we're going to do is just go through our flows. Okay, actually, do you know what, before I do that, what I always do is go to the MCDU menu and go to ATSU. Alright, then go to AOC menu, and I then go to weather requests. Okay, so this is basically the way I set up the aircraft. Now you can have a look there, you can see that the airport ICAO codes fields have not been filled in. You can actually fill it in now and put it in, but sorry, that was just me putting in some silly unknown code there. But if you go to the init page, okay, and just download your flight plan, okay, and then what that does, that actually, let's go back, that actually brings in the information for you. So go that and go back there, and there you can see our ICAO codes have been preloaded for us. Alright, and then we can click send, and that's going to get our METAR for us pretty soon. Okay, so we'll return, and we can go straight to weight and balance, okay, and start getting our passengers loaded. So the jetway is connected, that's alright. Press send, and then all the information comes through. So you've got 134 passengers in total, and that's where they're all sitting. Okay, so what I've got here is LukeAirTool. Alright, now I have done a detailed video on LukeAirTool, so you can pop along to the channel, or just click the link in the description or the card above, and you can have a look at that. Alright, and you know, LukeAirTools, they're working on this, and they've actually got a career mode that's developing. Okay, so they've got quite a few pages. If you download the software and look at it, you'll see there's got quite a few pages. Not operating yet, but you can see where they're going with the software, and it looks really good. Can you believe it? A career mode. You know, we're talking about buying planes, buying aircraft, and cargo, and stuff like that, earning money. So that's really, really cool for the future development of LukeAirTool. Okay, so where was I? Right, now this is all set to load passengers. Right, now LukeAirTool will load passengers a lot slower, a lot more realistically than the Airbus MCDU. Okay, so I can press this now, so that will just oh, it's not going to disappear. Good. Alright, so that's been loaded now, and now I can press board passengers, and then you can hear them boarding. Just turn up the ambient sound. There we go. Alright, so that's that. Now I'm going to put this to the side. I can actually do this, and it will put that up there. Okay, but I'm going to just bring that back and put it to the other screen, just over here. Alright, so yeah, good. So got passengers boarding, and you can see the weights going up there. Right, that's good. And what else? We're going to go now. Ah, yes, so we're going to go straight up to our flows. So let's go to the overhead panel, and we're just basically going to do our flows from left to right, top to bottom. Alright, so crew supply, we'll click that on. Now the CVR test, okay, that's not going to work unless you actually switch on the ground control. Then, can you hear that? That's the CVR test working okay. All these are on. Okay, these are good. We'll just turn the ADIRs on. and turn that on. Lights are off for the moment, and anti-ice, we don't need it. Actually, no, we don't need it. Oh, we're not on real weather actually. Funny enough, actually, real weather, it's actually snowing. in the real Istanbul right now is actually, well, not snowing, it's actually -1. So but I just fancy having a bit of clouds ready for the flight. Okay, so moving up here, so we can do engine fire test number 1, engine number 2, and yep, APU is working. Cool, and then we can turn on the fuel pumps. Alright, and now we've got 134 passengers. Now anything below 141, then you need to switch this to low. Okay, that's just how it works here on the Airbus. Alright, and you can turn these down a bit if you want. Okay, so moving down, APU bleed, don't need that quite yet. Probe window heat, don't need that. So APU masters, we'll turn that on. Wait about 3 or 4 seconds and then hit the start, and we'll just check that it's all coming on. Alright, it is. There is a flap that actually opens, and that's why you wait about 3 or 4 seconds for the flap to open, and then that will start that. Now just going to the pressure page. Actually, pressure, no, let's go to the bleed. Where is it? No, there you go. So yeah, always check your oil quantity. So we got enough oil, 24.3 quarts, and we have got electrics. Okay, so batteries are connected and charging, that's why those arrows are there. And we need to do a battery test, so we'll turn those off and go back down. You can see the batteries are disconnected, and then we go up and we will turn it back on again and check that it's connected. Good, which it is. Alright, what else? Okay, hydraulics as well. So now this is what I wanted to show you. Okay, so alright, cool announcements. Now what can I say? Right, the PTU. Alright, so you notice that the accumulator pressure is basically pretty much down. Right, so if we open up the baggage, so we get the baggage guys working. Okay, notice what happens as the cargo door open. So I'll do this. So baggage, see it's opening there, and there you can see electric pumps coming on, and accumulator pressure's going up. So I have actually done a video on the hydraulics on the A320 Airbus. If you want to pop along the channel as well and have a look at that. Okay, and that will shut off once the cargo door shuts off itself. Okay. Alright, cool. So, do you know with the LukeAirTool actually there is, I haven't done it, but there is a way to actually turn off the sounds when you're outside, but main app, there's a proximity switch. Let's have a look. Audio. there we go, proximity audio. So do that, and let's go outside now and see if we can hear the chatter. There you go. That's more realistic, isn't it? There you go. All right. That's something I didn't include in the video, so I just wanted to mention it. All right. So right, oxygen pressure. Oh, that's what I'm looking for as well. 1700. So that is cool. All right. So what we can do now. All right, moving along. Seat belts. No smoking signs on. Armed. Emergency lighting armed. These are all okay. These are fine. Yep. Okay, so everything looks good there on the overhead panel. Alright, moving down to the MCDU. Okay, so we're going to set this up. So let's go back to data. Okay, so just going for our district procedure. Aircraft status. Alright, just checking our engines and checking our air rack, which is up to 23rd of March, so yeah, we're well within date, and that's good. Init page A, we've done that already. Okay, and going to our flight plan now. Okay, so taken off. Okay, so departure. I believe it's runway 6, and I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Let's get this up. Oops. This always happens. Right, good. So I had already set this all up and set up the quick tabs as well. Alright, so yeah, so we've got runway 6 for our takeoffs, and we're using the IBLA 3 Juliet departure. Okay, so let's do that. Departure, runway 6, and IBLA. There we are, IBLA 3 Juliet. And there's no transition, so we'll just click insert. Okay, cool. GPS primary is up. And our arrival. Let's do that. Our arrival is, I should tell you, is 8 right. So ILS approach 8 right. And so what are we? We're using the OBUG 2. Should be here somewhere. There you go. OBUG 2. Or Bug 2, should I say? And there's no wires. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward, really, isn't it? And insert that. All right. So next thing to do is just check the integrity of our flight plan. So we'll put this little button here to plan. And we'll put this to about, say, 40, so we can see more of the flight plan as we're scrolling through. Okay, so let's just go through now. We're looking for any discos or discontinuities. Okay, that all looks good. It's not a long flight. It's about, say, 1 hour 20 minutes. Maybe a bit more, actually, slightly a bit more. Alright, so you can see that we're gonna come around here and around there. Okay, so what's interesting actually is this little D here, which is our automatic approach confirmation. Now it will just select the approach for us if we haven't done it. It's quite close to the runway actually, which is unusual. Anyway, that's good. So there's no discos on that one. Okay, so let's go back here and continue. Right, secondary flight plan, not implemented yet. RadNav, I'm not sure if there's any RadNavs we need to pay attention to be honest with you. This thing's really slow, you know, really slow. Let's have a look, RadNavs. Any RadNavs here? Right, we got SBH. Well, there's one there, so I think it's always good to put it in, just in case we have a problem. Sierra Bravo Hotel, and we'll put that in there like that. Okay, cool. And right, init page, go to init page B, get our zero fuel weight up. Okay, 24.4, take a note of that because we're going to need that soon. Alright, and block fuel, we did say 5.2, didn't we? Remember? Yeah, 5.2, and then that should populate the init fuel prediction page there. Cool. Alright. That looks all good. And finally, the perf page. Right, so it's going to be a flaps 1 departure. And we're going to have a flex to temp of, say, 60. When the ground's contaminated with rain or snow, anything like that, then don't use flex to temp, just go straight to Togar. Alright, it's 128 on the V1, 129 on VR, what's wrong one, and 133 on V2. Okay, transition altitude is 12,000 according to this. Thrust reduction altitude is 1800, so that's when we're going to basically pull back from flex maximum control thrust to climb mode. Okay, climb default. Alright, so that's that. Alright, so yeah, I think that's about it for the MCDU. So that's cool. Alright, now next thing is glare shield. Okay, so now let's pop along to this part here and we get our bar up as 1030. Alright, so 1030. Okay, we'll put that. I mean, they are automatically synchronized, but if they weren't, you'd actually cross-check them. So 1030 on the baro. Make sure flight director is on, landing systems off. We can switch the VRR on. Constraints, that's on. Put that to 20. And we're looking for dashes and dots, which we've got them here. Alright, and all these are off. And our initial climb, let's have a look. I think it's going to be, so I'll just slide this across here. This is the actual software I'm using as opposed to this one here, because this one actually I find when you use the software it's much more quicker, much more responsive than the other toolbar one. So what do we say? SID. You see how quickly the SID comes up. Now what am I saying? I'm saying initial altitude. I'm looking for that. Well, it does say transition altitude 12,000. Initial climb clearance, that's what I'm looking for. Initial climb clearance, that's 7,000. Okay, so I'll move that back over. 7,000. There you go. Okay, so we've got everything we need there really. And we'll click on airport on this one. Alright, so that's about done for that. Okay, let's just see how passenger boarding's going. Right, so they're all boarded now. That's cool. Alright, so we're not going to need, well, I said we're not going to need LukeAirTool, we do actually. Let's go back to 1 and let's do a welcome. Right, okay. Right, so I'm just going to go through our checks really as to what we've done. So, battery 1 and 2 is checked, external power, that's still on, nav light, strobe, that's done. Engine master 1 and 2, they're off, we checked that. Engine mode selector is checked norm. Landing gear lever is, yeah, it's down. Parking brake, that's on. Okay. Flaps lever, we checked that, that's 0. Speed brake lever, that's disarmed. Thrust lever is idle. APU fire test, so we've done all the fire tests already. Transponder mode, we've checked out on standby. Radio control panels, they're on. ECAM, recall, that doesn't work really. It's always going to say normal. Right, it just doesn't work at the moment. Anti-skid over here, that's on. Okay. What else have we got? Flight director, that's on. Emergency lights on. Engine fire tests, yeah, we said that. No smoking signs, they're on. Engine anti-ice required. Probe wind heat, that's auto. Alright, APUs, APU generator. All fuel pumps are on. Active brake pressure, we checked that. All the GPW switches, they're done. EFIS switches, ADIRs, and equipment available. Set frequencies, well, we're on Unicom 122.80 and ATC clearance. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to submit a flight plan. Okay, so I'm just going to submit my flight plan. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's all done. And the reason being, I know that ATC is not going to come on. I don't think so anyway. I don't actually know. You can actually check the schedule, you know, on if you go to like a VATSIM map, they should have a schedule there. If you use old programs, you've been around on VATSIM on Flightsim for a long time, you can go to VRoute and that'll give you a schedule of VATSIM controllers, who's going to be on at what time. Right, but yeah, it's good to actually just submit the flight plan so that if ATC does pop online, then they've got information and can see exactly where you're going, and if you're on approach to an airport, they can actually see that as well. Okay, so now we're pretty much ready to go, so I'm going to disconnect the let's have a look. Right, before pushback can start, right, we need to get rid of the jetway, so now I've just clicked on this. Okay, get rid of the jetway there, and the baggage guys. See, look, these guys, unless you actually give it another click, alright, so now to get the luggage guys away, I think I'm going to have to do that as well. So click on baggage, alright, and I'm hoping that the the conveyor belt truck goes as well. I have had one or two issues with that. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's the software, but so that's pulled away and he's still there. Ah, right, come on, bit of patience. So they do take their time, don't they? Okay, and that's gone. Is this going to shut automatically? Yes, it will. Okay, cool. Right. Let's just get back in. And right, so we'll check our doors. That's going to close off in a sec, which it has done. Right, so all doors are closed. All windows and doors are closed. APU master start is on. APU bleed, we'll put that on now. Been quite a few times actually. I've gone to go for an engine start as I'm pushing back and it won't start. That's because I've actually pressed the probe window heat as opposed to the APU bleed switch. Okay, external power, so we'll disconnect that. Alright, and don't forget to disconnect the power cart. Okay, so there's two actions there. Come on. So I've pressed it. Let's press it again. Oh, and there he goes. Okay, and then I'm going to get the now the pushback cart. Okay, now this is the thing with this software, okay, because I normally use pushback helper. I think I did say. So you got manual pushback here, okay. So, but with the pre-planned pushback, it seems as if the tug is not in place, which is highly unrealistic. Okay, so I'm going to let that slide into place. Right, so it's interesting, isn't it? Right, so if I click on stop pushback, see there he's going to go, which is not what I want, and now it's going to go to pre-planned pushback. So this isn't what I want. I want the tug to actually be there. So he's disappearing. So you see now, when I click pre-plan pushback, let's move this up here. Okay, so this is what you get. So it looks as if it's going to push back without the tug. So we'll click here, and we can turn. We can drag down here and just turn the aircraft a bit, and click there, and then we can turn the aircraft using the scroll wheel and position it where you want. Here and click again. There you go, we've got our movement. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Right, let's go back into the aircraft. Right, so what I'm going to do is just review the, I'll sort that out in a minute, just review our flight departure. Okay, so we're expecting runway 6. we're here on apron 1. So runway 6 is down here, so pretty simple enough. We're going to push him back and facing west. Okay, so it's tail right and nose left, and we're going to be taxiing down, which is this. It's not that clear. Let's have a look. Looks like it's Delta. It's like taxiing down Delta and all the way down to the bottom and holding that Juliet. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's pretty simple enough. And then after that, we are departing on the Ibla 3 Juliet departure with an initial climb of 7,000. And transition altitude is 12,000. Okay, well, don't have radar on or anything like that, so yeah, so okay, and that's our route. Now looking out for the constraints, we've got not below 7,000 at Foxtrot Juliet 51, and then we'll be taking a left turn on the 339 to 343 heading, and at Betis, so we'll take a 283 heading and onto Bal. Okay, and from there we'll pick up our route. Okay, cool. That's about it really for our departure. Right, so that's done. Oh, I'll spin this up here actually. Okay. Right, so let's just sort out this. Okay, so let's make an announcement first. Sabiha Gokcen traffic. Turkish Airlines 731 is A320 Airbus pushing back from stand gate 204 facing west. Okay, so parking brake, take that off. Okay, so aircraft. Now, what does it say? Start pushback. Let's have a look. Okay, let's try this and see what. Press enter, and then you can go to request pushback. So let's do that. Oh look, the tug is now going into position. Look at that. Look at that. It has fulfilled my wishes. Right, cool. Right, let's get the metal up. It should be there by now. See, received messages, metal, fuel at 3,500. Okay, cool. Let's do a print. So let's see what's going on. Parking brake is released. Don't know what else it wants. Right, it's lifting. There we go. Right, it's pushing us back. So now we can just basically get on with our engine start. So, engine number 1. Number 2 rather. That's the beauty about this, you don't have to, like with doing it manually. We ain't got to use your skill and judgment as to where the centre line's going to be. Okay, a little bit unrealistic there. A little bit unrealistic. That's a lot unrealistic actually. But I think it all does depend on how you actually position the aircraft when you're creating the pushback procedure. So do bear that in mind. It will do exactly what you request of it. Alright, that's not quite accurate. That is not quite accurate. It's letting me down, so maybe it was my fault. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Okay, now it's gone. Alright, anyway. That's all done, so we want to check. Right, the only thing I didn't do is put the beacons on. Should have done that. It was, didn't get fully from my checklist. Okay, put that on auto. Right, after engine start, engine mode selector is normal. Oh no, I haven't started engine number 1. Paying too much attention to that pushback tug. I forgot to start engine number 1. So yeah, it's hasn't put me dead on the line, so I'm not quite sure why that is, whether that was me not positioning it correctly initially, so I don't know. Right, so while the engine's starting, we can just go through our other checks. So we'll do ground spoilers are up, we'll turn that off afterwards, and flaps are up, front lever is at idle. And we're going to do our pitch trim. And we did say 2.4, didn't we? I'm going to actually put it down about here. 2.4. Okay. And we got engine start. Good. So we'll put that to norm. Flaps 1. Right, flaps set to 1, engine anti-ice, that's as required. ECAM status, okay, so got that. ECAM door page, let's check our doors before we move off. Okay, that's cool. And hand signal received. Okay, that's alright. Right, so taxi. Taxi lights on. Let's have a look. APU bleed off. and APU master off while we're there. And right, so takeoff data, we've got 133 magenta, 128 blue, climb blue, nav blue, 7000, one flat director 2. Okay, that's cool. And let's just do a control check. Full forward, full aft, full right, full left, neutral, full right rudder, neutral, full left rudder, neutral. Alright, cool. So, okay, that's good. Alright, and glare shield is set up. Okay, takeoff data. Let's just put it on the takeoff data page actually. Okay, so we're looking at V1128. And takeoff config, maximum auto brake, cabin, and takeoff config. Good. Oh, this one here needs to turn that to auto. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Sabiha, Gokcen traffic, Airbus A320, taxiing out to runway 6, taxiway at Delta. Alright, so let's go then. Let's get this up. Parking rate off. Let's go, guys. Let's turn on track IR. Alright, let's go down Romeo. Looks like my track IR has gone on me, unfortunately. That's a shame, really, because it's really handy. So now I've got to use the buttons. Actually, no, we're not going to go across there. Look at that. Really beautiful, isn't it? Very colourful airport as well. Right, speed is a bit too much actually, so it looks like we are on a slope, so just try and touch the brakes. The brakes are working anyway, which is another test we need to do. Looks like this is our turning. Right, parking brake on. It's annoying actually, my track IR has decided to pull out on me. That's a real shame. Alright, so track IR is not going to restart, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. I've got no choice now. I have to carry on using the other methods. Right, okay, so before takeoff, brakes below 150, that's good, brake fans are off, engine mode is normal, and TCAS, we'll switch that on, okay, and that's on all, cool, that's set to 7,000, and external lights, we'll turn those on. Okay, line up. Sabiha Gokcen traffic. Airbus A320 is lining up on runway 6 for takeoff. Okay, looks like it's clear. You see with my track IR, I could have actually bent down a bit, moved to the side, and etc., just to double check. But no. Okay, so takeoff. Right, let's set chrono and 50% forward on the stick slightly. Okay, flex. And then flex SRS runway. 100 knots, resting back, stick, V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Really lively and quiet, isn't it? Leave a climb, so we're above our 1800 above the airport, so select leave a climb, and we're climbing out nicely actually. This is so annoying about the track IR because, you know, it really does add to the realism. And we've got S speed, so that's flaps 1, ground spoilers down, and we'll just select autopilot. We're climbing out to our initial altitude of 7,000. Traffic, this is Airbus A320. Sabiha, Gokcen traffic, Airbus A320 departure on Ibla 3 Juliet departure, climbing through flight level 5004, initial climb level 7,000. Okay, so we're at 7,000, not less than 7,000. It's cool. It does sound really quiet, doesn't it? More quieter than usual. That's good, it's good. Okay, so we're coming up to Betis, so let's just go to our see if that's still up. See, oh, it's gone, it's gone. It's crazy, isn't it? Right, let's go to our flight plan. So we're doing, so we climb on the Ibla 3 Juliet departure. Okay, now where's our top of climb? Top of climb is just after Renku, and that's 18 minutes into our flight. Right, and this is a good thing about using the chrono as well, because it does actually help you as far as your flight plan is concerned as to where you ought to be. at the time. So where are we now? Renku. Right, so there's Renku. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go to our flight level, which is flight level 380. Traffic, this is Airbus A320 on the IBLO 3 Juliet departure, climbing through from 7,000 to flight level 380. Now I'm just going to check that we are still. We're still come. Right, I'm still on Unicom. So if we weren't on Unicom, you'd actually get on the controllers here. So yeah, we're still on Unicom. Right, and so we climb. And we'll leave our seat at Ibal, if you remember. And just looking for our top of descent, which is just here. So basically after Exol, we've got to start thinking about our descent. Focus on to airport now. I met her at Henri or Coandă, so we've got wings variable. Visibility is okay. No sick. Alright, cool. Okay, so we go to our progress page, and where did we say Exxon? So actually, and set standard. So remember, 12,000 feet was our transition altitude, so we'll standard. Set that up properly. Looks like we're going into heavy cloud, doesn't it? Right, so climbing through flight level 190 and Renku. Let's have a look. So what we can do, the good thing about this progress page is that if we type in, say, Renku, okay, like this, Renku, so you can actually get the exact distance. No, that's wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. Did I spell it wrong? Reknu, not Renku. Oh, crazy. It's Reknu. So let's spell it right. Reknu. There you go. 23 nautical miles. Well, I'm going to release the cabin crew. Should have done that already, really. Oh, and also take these lights off. Alright, just checking all this. I don't have to check off checklist, really. I think I did do that. So, yeah, flaps are up, and engine mode selector is norm. Spoilers disarmed. Gear is up and stowed. Right, so just having a look at where we are. So okay, cool. This is quite a long SID, you know. Look at that. Look how far this SID brings us. Right, do you know what? I haven't set up my approach yet, so we'll do that. Approaches, what did it say? Runway ILS 8 right. So, good. That's all done. Right, we'll look at our approach a bit later. Okay, a bit too early for that. Cool. Sit back, relax, enjoy the journey. I think there are 2 printouts here. Don't need that. Right, do keep an eye on your fuel. Just make sure nothing untoward is happening. That looks good. Both balanced out. And also your outside temperature as well. Minus 17 degrees. Wow, it's pretty cold up here. Pressure. Okay, so have a look down here, see what's working, what's not. Report. It's interesting. So with the fly-by-wire A320, do make sure every time before you fly, make sure you go to the installer and just click on update. There's an update every day on this, almost. These guys are working, you know, it's like they're working 24/7. Yeah, so every time you are going to fly the A320, just go and get an update really, because I bet bottom dollar there's going to be an update for this aircraft. So let me look at this report. Interesting, I haven't seen this before. Alrighty, okay. And you've got predictive GPS. Alright, so what I'm going to try and do, actually, I'm going to try and demonstrate a hold. Okay, so let's actually have a look at our flight plan. So I'm not going to do it just yet. Where are we? 33,000 feet. Let's have a look at this. And we're what? We are 18 minutes into the flight now. We should have been at our top of climb really. See, 18 minutes into flight, top of climb. I think possibly we're on that SID at the initial climb altitude for too long.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your own safety, please keep your seatbelt fastened while you remain seated. Please be careful when opening the overhead bins. Thank you.
Sayın yolcularımız, emniyetiniz için oturduğunuz sürece kemerinizi bağlı tutunuz. Başüstü dolaplarını açarken dikkatli olunuz. Teşekkür ederiz.
Dear passengers, we are pleased to offer lifting of wireless internet and mobile communication on flight. You may connect to the internet free of charge with your personal electronic devices and plan or receive text messages or your roaming rates from your operator. You can watch the latest programs on the Sport 24 channel. For detailed information on Wi-Fi provider usage, you may find it on Skylab magazine. Sayın yolcularımız, çocukluğunuz kalmasın her zaman. Özellikle haberleşmemizi rica hizmetleri sayesinde yayın olan iletişimimizi sürdürebilir. İnternet dijital cihazlarınızdan ücretsiz olarak bağlanabilir. Operatörünüzün roaming fiyatları üzerinden kısa mesaj gönderimi yapabilirsiniz. Flightsim spor kanallarından canlı maçları izleyebilirsiniz. Wi-Fi ve cep telefonunuzla ilişkin detaylı bilgi için lütfen Skylab dergisini.
Right, so as far as announcements concerned, I'm just going to show you guys this. So if we go to the flight plan and go to the settings gear wheel, okay, it says services unreachable. Why, I don't know. Okay. So now the fly-by-wire team have recently installed, updated the fly-by-wire A320 with passenger announcements. Okay, so it's kind of like a mini AirTool, a mini LukeAirTool, should I say, and it's right here. Okay, so you've got passenger ambience and announcements and boarding music. Okay, I have used this a couple of times, and it's got quite a loud pilot captain announcement. Really is overbearing. Really, it's quite loud, and yeah, and it's kind of like doubled over itself. So the system doesn't seem to be, for me anyway, working as it should. So I've just disabled all of them. And anyway, you know, I'm a LukeAirTool man, so I'm going to stick with LukeAirTool. I think, you know, it's much more versatile and much more enjoyable, really. But I'm sure that this one's going to keep developing as we go along. So yeah, we'll watch that space. Right, so guys, where are we? Ruda. Okay, so notice XL is coming up, so that's going to be our top of descent just after that. It's a shame that we don't have top of climb and top of descent markers as yet on the fly-by-wire A320 Airbus. That's a shame, isn't it? No, that's not a top of. Let's have a look. That can't be our top of descent. Oh wait. What did I say? What did I say? Let's have a look. Descent here. Well, yeah, just after Exxon. 35 minutes into our flight. It's interesting. 380 here. Okay, yeah, it is. That's our top of descent. Top of descent. It looks really. Oh, there it is. Exel is up there. So yeah, we've still got a little bit of way to go. Can't move that for some reason. Let's get this off. Wow, it seems to be moving awfully slow. I mean, well look, we're just at 200, just below 250. Oh, what's going on with that? That's crazy. They're moving too slow. So we're top of climb. Okay. And then we've got a barber pole there, so looks like this might be the fastest we're gonna get this aircraft at the moment. Managed 247. Look at that. Interesting, isn't it? So this is according to the flight plan. Interesting. That's why it's taken us so long to get where we need to go. Right, so let's have a look at this and go to our calculator and we'll sync our altitude. Alright, now let's go up here and we can get our star up and see what constraints we've got. So there's us, so we're going to be coming by Abuga, and doesn't seem to be any constraints there. Well, it says flight level 70. There you go. Maximum 240, flight level 70. It should be straight in, really. 2,500. Right, so what we can do is put here 7,000. That will give your start of descent to meet that target, 97 nautical miles. So TheRelaxed, if we put, what we can do is put TheRelaxed, so look, enter destination data already. So if I put here, let's have a look in progress, so we'll put TEVRO, TheRelaxed, and that will give us exactly the distance in meter. Basically we're looking at 97. When we get to 97, then we can actually start our descent. Alright, so enter dest data, so we'll do that. Move along. Right, so now, actually, do you know what? Don't have to go up there, you know, because we got it all here. Let's have a look. 1032. 1032. QNH. Let's have a look. Well, it's got winds variable. It's not giving us exactly what we need, so let's go up here and get on the dashboard. So 1032, 340 at 2 knots. See, it's got here variable. Now 340.2. Alright. And transition altitude is 5,000. Our temperature, what do we say, is 1 degree. Okay, that's done. And I'm going to run that duty-free announcements again.
Ladies and gentlemen,
get these guys to buy
for
something.
your own safety, please keep your seatbelt fastened while you remain seated. Please be careful when opening the overhead bins. Thank you.
Sayın yolcularımız, emniyetiniz için oturduğunuz sürece kemerinizi bağlı tutunuz. Başüstü dolaplarını açarken dikkatli olunuz. Teşekkür ederiz.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Right.
You may connect to the internet free of charge with your personal electronic devices and send or receive text messages or your roaming rates from your operator. Did you watch the latest programs on Sport 24 channel? For detailed information on Wi-Fi mobile and usage, you may find it on TheRelaxedMovement.
Where is this? Look at that. What was I looking for again? I was looking for something. Can't remember now. Oh, there we are. Our right. Decision altitude 514. Let's put that in. 514. Put that there and borrow. I'm not sure why it's got borrow, not MDA. It's interesting. And there's our landing VLS 122 and our approach 127. Okay, ILS 8 right. Cool. Right. Progress 102. So we're going to begin our descent in a few miles. You can see Exol is coming up. So we're going to select 7,000 altitude. Oops. Right, 7,000. Let's have a look. 97. There we go. So let's begin our descent.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we are descending, make sure that your hand luggage is stowed in the overhead bins or under the seat in front of you. Please fasten your seatbelt, put your seat back upright, close your tray table, open your window blind, and stow your footrest. Make sure that your electronic devices are set to flight mode. Electronic devices which do not have flight mode feature must be turned off. All electronic devices must be disconnected from the in-seat electrical power supply and safely stowed. Thank you.
Right here,
Sayın
we've
yolcularımız,
got
İniş için el
got
bagajınızın
a
başüstü
holding
dolabına
point.
veya önünüzdeki koltuğun altına yerleştirilmiş olduğunu kontrol
I'm
ediniz.
not sure if that's
Şimdi
Tevro,
lütfen
to be honest with
kemerinizi
you.
bağlayınız. Koltuğunuzu dik, masanızı kapalı, güneşliğinizi açık duruma getiriniz ve ayak desteğinizi yerine yerleştiriniz.
Got a marker there. This could be Tevro actually. So this is Tutix. That's Tevro. So we've got a holding point at Tevro, which I'm going to put in right now. So let's go to flight plan page and click on Tevro, and then we're going to click on hold. And you can see there it's got
Please ensure that your personal screen
automatically
and
for us
handset are stored
348.
properly.
It does actually say
Thank you.
349 here. It's got 348 as our inbound course.
Yerleştirilmiş olduğundan emin olunuz. Teşekkür ederim.
So let's insert that. You can actually adjust that to 349 if you so desire. So we'll insert that. Tevro track 348. Yeah, track 348. Right, good. And that should appear. First of all, it's going to draw like a little white arrow. As we get close to it, it'll actually draw the full hold pattern there. So, right. Oops. Right, how are we descending? 3-1. Going back to this. Booga 3-1. Okay. Right, so you've got some quite thick clouds coming up there, and you can see here now, you can see that we are basically got the airport at 1 o'clock, and we need to be at 7,000 at TheRelaxedMovement. Right, it's giving an eye on our fuel, and having a look there. Fuel's looking good. 3.4 tons. And should have adjusted our bar here really, but right, okay, that's fine. Right, the good thing about using the hold, right, is that, you know, say for example we started our descent pretty late, so rather than making a forced steep descent into the airport and possibly even a go around, what you could do is just use the hold to lose your descent. You lose your height rather by descending in the hold. I'm going to turn on my constraints now, so let's see that. So we've got plus 7,000. TheRelaxedMovement, you can see the little line there. That's our hold. And it's checking our engine gauges. And do you know what, actually, while I'm here, I'm looking for radnavs, so let's have a look. So radnavs, okay, now let's actually, so radnavs, so we got a VOR, which is here, okay, OPE, and final approach course is 079. So missed approach is climb via OPE NDB to OPT VOR. So we set OPT actually VOR 3000 hold. Okay, so there's a hold there, the OPT VOR, which is right there. You can see 3000 there. Okay, transfer altitude 4,000. Okay, so we'll do that. I'll just put OPT in. OPT. And that's the OPE. Let's go Papa Echo for the NDB. Alright, cool. Now what we can do now is put the airport in, so we're looking at El Rop, and the runway is 08 right. There you go, and that gives us 35 nautical miles. Okay, so we're at 16,000 feet at the moment, and we want to be at 2,500 basically at Obella, coming into Obella at 2,500, and the DME from the touchdown is 7.6. Final approach fix is right here. And just looking at the airport, actually, let's see what kind of airport it is. So 8 right, and more than likely we're going to catch this one here. Turn left, clean up round about here, and then onto apron 2. We can go, actually, yeah, we can go down. Cool. Well, there we are, we're at Wabuga now. Wabuga, 2 ticks, Tevro. Yeah, cool. Looking very nice. Look at that. That's amazing, isn't it? Alright, so we're coming up by our 10,000, so we're going to put our landing lights on. Okay, that's cool. I'm not sure if that was actually off actually. There was 2 switches, 2 positions there. There you go. It looks as if it's off because it's parallel with that, with the off switch, but no, it wasn't actually. Alright, so everything there looks good. They're descending nicely. Don't forget we're going to go into that hold. So at 10,700. And I'm just going to check again, see if there's any ATC at the airport. Oh yes, there is. Look, no, yes, it's LROC ground. Wow, they're still on. Amazing. Let's check in with our ATIS.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we are descending, make sure that your hand luggage is stowed in the overhead bins or under the seat in front of you. Please fasten your seatbelt, put your seat back upright, close your tray table, open your window blind, and stow your footrest. Make sure that your electronic devices are set to flight mode. Electronic devices which do not have flight mode feature must be turned off. All electronic devices must be disconnected from the in-seat electrical power.
1033.
Thank you.
No signaling preferred activity runway 08 right. This was Bucharest dependent information India.
Information India.
This is Bucharest dependent information.
Let's get back on to.
Runway 08 right departure
Let's get
runway
back
08.
on to. There is ground actually. Good, ground is on. Right, quite late.
Elektronik cihazlarınızın uçuş modunda olduğunu kontrol ediniz.
Okay, well, our descent actually is quite good.
İniş ve kalkış esnasında tüm elektronik cihazların koltuk elektrik güç ünitesinden çıkarılarak emniyete alınması gerekmektedir.
So I need to get down to 240.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Actually, let me see if
please
it
ensure
is
that
it
your
going to do it
personal screen
automatically.
and handset are stored properly. Thank you.
Let's have a look.
Ekran ve kumandanızın yerine yerleştirilmiş olduğundan emin olunuz.
This thing is really slow, isn't
Teşekkür
it?
ederim.
It's like it has to completely load every time you select it. So now star max 240. So is that going to get me down? Let's see what happens with the managed. Let's see if it's going to get me down to 240. Well, hey, we're at 7,000. Nice. Right, there you can see our hold. So we're just going into the hold, right. Well, after this point here, that's the Tevro. So we're going to go into the hold after that. 240. 240 knots. Now it's actually bringing me down below 240. So let's actually go up to 240. So I'm not sure why it's actually, you notice that it's widened now, 240 knots. So let's go back up to 240. Why it went down, I don't know. So ground is still there. And there we go around. So we'll just do it once just to show the hold. Henri Coandă airport traffic. Turkish Airlines 731 is type A320 Airbus in the hold at Tevro. Will be landing at Henri Coandă Airport. So just 24.8 nautical miles to the airport. Let's have a look. Right, set hold speed. Now that actually sometimes just sets itself. So here we are. Speed 205. And you've got right turn there. If it was a left turn, you'd actually change that to left. Right, to exit the hold, we're going to press immediate exit when we're ready. So like I said, if you actually can't approach the airport and you're too high, just look for the hold and use that to lose the altitude. Of course, if you're on VATSIM, you're going to have to get that request from the air traffic control. Now it still says set hold speed. Speed is 205. That I haven't done before. Let's clear that. and see what happens. So I might just have to clear that actually. Let's go back to flight plan, and yeah, that's gone. That's gone. Holding it nicely, isn't it? Excellent. Waited a long time for this, and it was such a necessary feature of the aircraft. Ground is still then 12170.
Hectopascals. No sig warning for bird activity runway 08 right. This was Bucharest Independent Information, India.
08 right, good, so we don't have to change that. Connect copy, actually, as we've got ground ATC on. Okay, so what we can do now is just press immediate exit, and that will bring us back onto our flight plan. So after that we're going to select 2500, and go back to managed mode. Right, the hold should disappear once we touch Tevro waypoint there. We'll see. If it doesn't, I'll be ready to do a direct to. Right, good, it's gone. Right, and it's going back up to 240. 220 is the next one, actually. You notice how quickly it shot us back up to 240. I think that's one of the updates on the aircraft. So they're updating this aircraft every day, and don't know exactly what they're doing to update it. Right, so let's see if it's going to bring us down to 220. Now this is interesting. You see this D here? This D basically will, I think I mentioned before, actually will tell the MCDU, a computer, to actually go to approach mode. It's very, very close to the runway. Look at that, right there. So we don't want to go into approach mode before that. Well, we can do slightly before, I suppose. 220, there we go, we're at 220. Excellent. So it knows what it's doing. Engine sounds so smooth and lovely. Henri Coandă traffic. Turkish 731 is type Airbus A320 inbound to Oppo 823 nautical miles on final for landing at Henri Coandă Airport. Okay, so let's go down to 2,500. Almost forgot about that. 2,500. Okay, so that's 210. It's interesting. I'm going to see how if I'm going to meet that actually. I might have to do an expedite. Okay, we're going to have to set bar soon, so are we going to meet this? We'll see, we'll have to keep watching that. Okay, seatbelts. Landing lights are on. Transition altitude is 4,000, that should start to blink soon. It's quite a low transition altitude. Now, are we going to meet that 2,500? There's our final approach fix. There we go. QNH, now it did say 1033, didn't it? So we'll change that, 1033. Let's check over here. Yeah, 1033. Oh, interesting. Right, I'm going to do expedite. And pull the spoilers down a bit. All the way, in fact. Landing system is on.
$2,500.
And we do need to get to 2,500 ourselves. Okay, now I'm going to activate the it's already activated for us, good. Okay, spoilers up. That's one. Too early for Flightsim. Gear down. Approach. Oops, not that. Approach. Flaps 2. Cabin secured. Medium brake. Flaps 4. Henri Coandă traffic, Airbus A320 Turkish Airlines 731 is on established on final for runway 8 right.
1000.
Auto throttle is speed. Go around altitude, that was 3000, wasn't it? And autopilot off.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
If you step on the brakes, then that releases the auto brake system.
Ladies and gentlemen and dear children, please keep your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.
Okay, cool.
You may use your electronic devices. Please be careful while opening the overhead bins when the aircraft reaches its final parking position. We would like to
We're
say
looking for
goodbye
that
and
turn
hope
off.
to meet you again. Thank you for flying with Turkish Airlines, a member of Star Alliance.
Right, it's not that
Hanımefendiler,
one.
beyefendiler ve sevgili çocuklar, kemer ikaz ışıkları sönünceye kadar kemerinizi bağlı tutunuz. Tüm elektronik cihazlarınızı kullanabilirsiniz. Uçak park pozisyonuna ulaştığında başüstü dolaplarını açarken dikkatli olunuz. Yolculuğunuzun iyi geçmiş olduğunu umuyor ve sizlerle yeniden karşılaşmayı diliyoruz. Star Alliance üyesi Türk Hava Yolları ile uçtuğunuz için teşekkür ederiz.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear children, welcome. Please keep your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off. You may use your electronic devices. Please be careful while opening the overhead bins and the aircraft reach final parking position. We would like to say goodbye and hope to meet you again. As a member of the Alliance, thank you for flying Turkish Airlines. Hanımefendiler, beyefendiler ve sevgili çocuklar, dünyanın buluşması temel ikaz ışıkları sönünceye kadar kemerlerinizi bağlı tutunuz. Tüm elektronik cihazlarınızı kullanabilirsiniz. Uçak park pozisyonuna ulaştığında başüstü dolap kapaklarını açarken dikkatli olun. Yolculuğunuzun iyi geçmiş olduğunu umuyor, sizlerle yeniden karşılaşmayı diliyoruz. Star Alliance üyesi Türk Hava Yolları, teşekkür ederiz.
Alright guys, let's just stop it right here and let's clean up. And we'll put the APU on. Cool. Okay, so now what we've got to do is contact. Let's see if they're still on. Yeah, they're still on. Oh, it's actually got here Otopeni. Otopeni ground controller is Turkish 731. Good evening, and requesting taxi to gate, please.
Hello, Turkish 174 ground. Welcome to Bucharest. Taxi to stand 105 via Delta Charlie November Sierra Lima.
So it's taxi. 1 minute. Modulation was a bit low. So taxiing to gate 1105 via. Could you repeat the taxiways, please?
Turkish 174, no problem. It's gonna be stand 105 via Delta Charlie November Sierra Lima.
Okay, so to stand 105 via Delta November Charlie Lima. Yeah, thank you, Turkish 731. Okay, so
Turkish 174, better yet, you can taxi to your stand of choice and have a good night.
thank you, taxiing to stand of choice. Have a good night. Thanks for ATC. Okay, so let's have this up. Right, cool. So let's go. Looks like you've got a couple of static aircrafts up there, which isn't nice really, because I've got my ground vehicle, airport ground vehicles, aircraft slider turned down to 0. So yeah, I didn't want to see those really. Charlie, okay. Now this is another lovely airport. Okay, Charlie Lima. Okay, looks like we're up on apron 1. Now, is that VATSIM traffic in front of us? Or not? That's the question. I don't think so. I don't think so. So look at this airport, guys. Look at it. Wow. Okay, so it looks like we're going to go straight across. And that big blue building, we're going to be just parking it around there so you can see gates there waiting for us. It did say November. And Lima, so that's at the end. I do hope there's I'm going to actually taxi to the gates, to be honest with you. So we can get our passengers going through the gates. Sierra, he said, Sierra Lima. There's a bit lag on the pedals there. There we go, Lima. .106 .105. Let's turn off the. Oops. Don't know where that's going. Turn this off. Okay, so let's swing around. Oh, a tight turn, wasn't it? I thought he was supposed to be kind of like guiding me. No, he's not doing anything. Let's see where we are outside. Let's have a look. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Cool. All right. Parking brake. Let's check APU is on. Good. And we shut the engines down. Engine 1 and engine number 2. Alright, so that's good. What else? deboard passengers, so let's start deboarding passengers. Just release the cabin crew there. Good, so everyone's deboarding. And the parking brake is on, and yeah, all these are done. Cool. I think that's about it, guys. I think that's about it. Yeah, that is it. So I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. It was a really lovely, smooth flight, and I hope to get more VATSIM flights. I'm glad at least some ATC was on. It was good. Yep, everything is done. So that's it. So thanks for joining me, guys. Really appreciate you watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Alright, and we'll see you again in the next flight video. Take care and bye for now.